Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, and hello everyone. Welcome back. Quick question before we start. Have you ever opened someone else's document and thought, wow, that looks really clean and professional? And then looked at yours and thought, mine just looks like plain text on a white page? Yeah, I have been there too. That gap between a plain document and the proper one is exactly what we are closing today. And by the end of this video, your Word document will never look beginner again. So without any further delay, let's get started. So today we are covering four things. First is page setup, so your document fits perfectly on the paper. Second is headers and footers, so every page looks official. Third is inserting images because the document with the photo just hits different. And fourth is table for organizing any kind of data cleanly. These four things, this is what separates someone who just uses Word from someone who actually knows Word. And by the end of this video, you'll be the second type. So let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to print a document and the text got cut off at the edges, or there was too much empty space on the sides? That's a page setup problem. It's basically telling Word how big is my page, how much space do I want on each side, and which direction should the page go. So there are three things for that to fix them. First is margin, the empty space around your text. Second is orientation, portrait means tall and landscape means wide. And third is paper size, almost always A4 in India. Simple, but most beginners never touch this. The one who do, the documents look instantly better. Now I'll show you exactly how to do it in the demo, but first, let me ask you to do one thing. Open Word right now and keep it ready. Watch me, then you do it. And after me, you have to do it. That's how actually sticks. Okay, now we move on to headers and footer. Every professional document you have ever seen, such as college certificate, a company's letter, and an official report has something at the top and something at the bottom. That's a header and a footer. Header, which is usually top of every page, has the company name, title, and your name. Footer, which is usually at the bottom of every page, has the page numbers. So here's why this matters. Imagine submitting a 10-page document with no page numbers. The teacher drops it. Pages scatter everywhere. Now nobody knows what goes where. Page numbers fix that, and it takes literally 30 seconds to add them. I'll show you, watch closely. Okay, now watch my screen. I have a blank Word document right here. And first we will do the page setup. For that, we will go to Layout tab. Then we click on Margins. And then we click on Narrow so that how the text area get wider, you can see that. And then we click on Orientation. Portrait, click it. So it's tall and landscape is wide. So I'll switch to landscape so that you can see see that the page flipped sideways. Now I'll switch back to portrait. Yeah, now we move on to paper size, which is almost all A4 in India, and we use it, so leave it as it is. So that's we use. And page setup is done, and it took only 30 seconds. Next, we move on to headers and footers, and for that, click insert and click on header and click on blank. So now you can type here and see how the dotted lines appears at the top. That's the header area. So now I'll click here and erase that, and I'll type here Skillverse Technologies, my first document. Done. That text will now appear on the top of every single page automatically. You type it once and it's everywhere. Now we will make it to center and we'll change the font size so that it may be visible to everyone. Now let me go to footer section. For that, we will click on footer so that we can add the footer. Click on blank footer, and after that footer, click on page numbers and select bottom of the page. Yeah, see that page 1 is now at the bottom. Every page will automatically number itself. Click anywhere outside and close the header. So that's all. Now we'll move on to inserting an image. For that, click on insert and then click on pictures. Then choose the folder which you want and where the images you have stored in it, and click on the image, then click insert. So now you can see the image is on the Word document. See the little squares around the corners. Those are handlers. Drag a corner to resize. Always remember that drag from the corner, not the sides, or the image gets stretched and looks weird. Yeah, and from here in the format section, you can add frames like this. And one more thing, that's text wrapping. Right now, the image is just sitting there blocking text. So click the image, click the little icon that appears on the right and choose square. Yeah, that's all. Now the text will flow around your image like a pro document. And the fourth step, that we are going to insert a table, and for that, and we are going to insert the table, and for that click on insert and then click the table section. Move your mouse around the grid, over the grid. I want 3 columns and 3 rows. You can add the tables like this by moving the mouse around the grid, or you can click on insert table and you can add the number of columns and rows here also. So I want three columns and three rows. For that, I'll click on 3, then I'll click on, and then I'll click here 3, then I'll press enter. So now you can see that the table appears. So in the first row, I'll type name, and then I'll press tab, then subject, then again I'll press tab, then marks. Then I'll click here. In the second row, I'll type Rahul, tab subject science, and then tab marks 87. Then in the third row, I'll type Priya, tab maths subject in the subject column. Then in the marks column, we will add some data like 92. Okay. Now to resize the column, hover over the line between the columns. And you can resize like this. Cursor changes to double arrow. At that time, you have to click and drag. Clean, simple, and it's done. So let's recap what just happened. First is page setup, layout, margins, orientation, and paper size. Second is header. Double click on the top of every page, type your title. And third is footer, insert page number, and it's done. And fourth is image, insert pictures, resize from the corners, and text wrapping. And the fifth thing we had done is table, that we had insert a table, pick size, and type some data and resized it. 5 things in one video. If you actually opened a Word while watching this, you have already know how to do all of this. That's not studying, that's a skill. And we have done 5 things in one video. So before we close the session, here's your question. Think about the last document you made or typed. Did it have a header, a page number, and a table? If no, go add one right now. Seriously, pause the video, open the document, and just add a page number at the bottom. Then come back and drop a check mark in the comments. I'll be checking. So in the next video, we will move on to the MS Excel basics, such as rows, columns, cells, and your first formula. A lot of people find Excel scary. I get it. It looks like a grid with no end. But here's the thing. Once you understand how three things work, the whole sheet makes sense. Wilka exactly those three things. Don't miss it. Practice today's lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. You're doing great and keep going. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Have a nice day. Remember me in your prayers.